Today we're going to look at something called the counting formula. So the counting formula is a way for us to find the number of elements that exist in some set, whether it be the union or the intersection or A and B, when we're given some information. So this notation here means the number of elements in the intersection, the number of elements in the union of A and B. This is saying the number of elements in set A, the number of elements in set B, and then the number of elements in the intersection of A and B. So that little n with parentheses just means the number of elements that exist in that set. So the counting formula says that the number of elements that exist in the union of A and B is equal to the number of elements in the set A plus the number of elements in the set B minus the number of elements that exist in their intersection. And this is pretty interesting because why are we subtracting the number of elements in their intersection? Well, if you think about what's happening here, we know that the union just is represented of all of the elements that exist in the two sets together. If we account for, let's say A had 10 elements and B had 9 elements, but there were 3 that were in both A and B, right? So we have, here we have 2 circles. There are 3 that are in here, and then it has 10. And this one has 9. Right? So this is A, and this is B. So if we're trying to find the number that are in the union, how many are there in total? Well, we can just count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We know that there are 16 total in the union. But how many are in A? Well, in A, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. In B, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. But 10 plus 9, that's 19. But we know there's only 16 elements. We have to subtract the 3 elements that are in the intersection. Why does that happen? Well, the reason why this happens is because these 3 elements are counted twice when we're counting the number of elements in A and B. When we count and say that there are 10 elements in A, that includes these 3 in the intersection. And when we say that there are 9 elements in B, again, that includes these 3 elements. So these 3 elements are getting counted twice. So we have to subtract 1 instance of them being counted. And so that's why we have to subtract this intersection.